So I switched to a new streaming thing. So I didn't realize that I put the mic super quiet. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate that one. Cool. So, sorry, back to it. We're doing a replay review. GUI, my volume should now be fixed. As I was saying, as Deli, he's going to want to shut down your opening here, and he's going to want to make sure that you can't get up your cow boom. You're going to have to defend as well as getting your cows up. Key part here is going to be with the front gold. You're going to have to make units most likely. This is not you're not playing against a civ that you can just kind of naked go castle. Naked being you don't make any units. You're probably going to have to make some donzos. You're going to have to make some javelins. But the key is that balance of not making too many, just enough to defend, get the castle, and survive. Because if you try to fight it out, one thing you could try to do is if you can get enough passive income, 2 gold pits, and cows up, you could fight in feudal, but I wouldn't suggest it. Your goal should be to try to get the castle with Malians. Let's continue. Age up. 4 on food, that's good. As of a lot of civs, you want a lot of wood. Entering feudal. New age begins. I love getting the double products immediately because you need so much wood to start, and generally fall on a rule of, for normal civs, if you have like 10 or more villagers on a resource, you definitely want to get the eco upgrade for it. This is also your chance. Deli gets so many eco upgrades at the start, and since it takes him a second to get going, like if you look at his base, he just aged up, he has no production. In fact, his macro is a little weird. He's still very heavy on food. But you actually have time in the early game to match him on eco upgrade. So I would get double products, and then I would also get wheelbarrow. It would be really big for you. And then horticulture also applies to the cows. So feel free to try to get wheelbarrow and horticulture to kind of match him eco early on. And it's going to be really key that you're just watching his base like a hawk, checking for units here. So far, we're getting your first cows out. So here's the thing. I love this wheelbarrow grab. I would have immediately then dropped another mill. And then with the mill, so that you could do your upgrade and get cows. This also allows you to, once you get the wheelbarrow, to then do double cows. This is also the point where, since you have 17 on wood, you don't need any more on wood. In fact, I would say like 14 is 15 on wood is all you really need. Really, right now you need a lot of gold, because what's slowing you down is your lack of gold. With about 15 on wood, 14 on wood, I would have then started rallying to gold. So that you can quickly be getting out. I know you're trying to set up this pit mine. But now you just want to start getting your cows up, because the more cows you can get early on, when he starts making units, which he's dropping archery range, he's dropping stable, you need to match him on those right now. Okay, you guys got his base. It's nothing. First Ghazi. You have to watch out this house, because with this house here, you blocked out your ability to get a mining camp. So the balance here is, are you going to get out units? Because one of these pit mines you have to actually mine for gold. And here we see our overinvestment. You have built 4 cattle ranches, and you don't really have the ability to put the cattle in them yet. This is... how much is a cattle ranch? 100 wood a pop. I would have liked you only add the cattle ranches as you have the cows. Because this wood could be an archery range and a barracks. And now you need to start producing donzos as you're producing, and javelin throwers as you're producing cows. Because right now he's making units, and you have no production. And that's not good against Deli, because Deli produces so quickly. So quickly. It's adjustment, right? Because some civs you can get away from this. But with Deli, since they can put the scholars in the military buildings and then produce very, very quickly, if you're not producing any units right now, he could quickly overwhelm you. So my suggestion is cut down on overproducing cattle ranches only as you have the cows to put into them, then build the cattle ranch. Instead, use that wood on getting up barracks and archery range, and since you have less on wood, you can then have more on gold and food to make units and to make more cows. Because I know this isn't doing anything for you, right? Like this. See, what's the point of having these if you can't put cows in them yet? Now, not far behind you, because now you have to get the upgrade for the Donzos. You can't take that fight. Nope. Yeah, you have to wait. I don't mind the wall. See, now you need the mining, right? And then the first archer's in. And all you need is... Oh, don't, no. We triple dropped. No. Unit diversity. One, this comes from the issues you didn't actually scout his base. Because scout his base, you would have sought an archery range and a stable. Two, right now, you do not need 2 of anything. You need 1 barracks, you need 1 archery range. You need to produce javelins, and you need to produce donzos. And you want to lean into javelins, honestly, because you're just defending your base. So if you hit him with javelins as he's coming up, and then if his Gazis try to dive in your base to kill javelins, you just hide and kill his Gazis as he's coming in. Not producing any javelin throws right now. If he sees this and you start producing donzos, all he needs to do is produce archers. And the goal of Delhi is to produce a lot of archers anyway. I'm going to see without a javelin thrower here, you can just poke. That's 1 villager down. And now you're producing Musafati, which Musafati are the worst thing to produce against archers, which I think that might have just been a misclick. But this is coming down to a lack of unit diversity. Which you have the wood for it. You could drop 2 archery ranges right now. Like we're not reacting to the counter. See, and this is what happens when you split. Isn't it pink? If you're gonna run back to this pit mine, I would have dropped a wall here. I would have tried a wall, honestly, or kept the spears, kept the donzos back here. But if you had, and that's fine, right? Because you could rotate up here. But if you had just been making javelins, it'd been fine. Because if he walks up with archers, javelins just poke away the archers continuously, and you could have mined here. You could have even put up a tower. But running back here, he's waiting for that with Gazis, right? Like, he was obviously sitting here waiting for it. And I don't like this switch into sofas. Because 1, sofas are very expensive. 120 food, 60 gold. And 2, javelin throwers are just such a good unit. Like, you want to lean into your power units, and javelin throwers are an amazing unit. The reason why you see Malians players go into sofas in castles, because with the farm, with the cattle's up, you have the food to mass produce sofas. In feudal, you'll struggle to produce a lot of sofas. Lean into javelins. It's such a good unit, and your range is so big. Now you're just down villagers, right? You're at 29, and he's at 36. So he's killed 7. Or at least you're down 7. And this wall, isn't it? You want to try to wall 2 points. I would have tried to do this one and like kind of connect it with the wood lines to save wood and to make it more cohesive. And now you're just struggling for resources. And all this comes down to, this is why I focus so much on the early game, because this all really comes down to the fact that you don't have javelins. Because you don't have javelins, his archers get to sit here. His archers get to sit here. You can't keep your wood villagers here. You have to run to the back, where he has mobility, and he can now really raid you. And he's gonna go to castle soon, I think, because he's just getting the sacred sites for free. And this actually works out pretty well for you, but that's honestly because he played that really bad. Like, he stood there and let his archers die to you, which a better player would not do that. 2, the second he sees stables, now all he has to do is produce spearmen himself. And here's the thing. His spearmen are going to be good, and which he's doing right now because he's Tower of Victory, so his spearmen have extra attack speed. So now he can just make spearmen and archers. But the reality is, if he just goes pure spearman archer, you're going to struggle still. Like, you really need javelin throwers, because javelin throwers do great against spearmen, they do well against archers, really well against archers, and lastly, if you get enough of them, they'll start picking off Ghazis, because the base attack of javelin throwers is pretty high. Okay, I was actually worried about you taking this fight. This fight's actually going better for you. Sofas are 16 damage, 2-2, 155. Ghazis are 140, 0-2, 12. So here's the thing that you might not realize about Ghazis. Ghazis have extra attack against heavy, so he's actually doing 14. Which, your Sofas are still technically better, because your Sofas have 2 armor. But he's not... He's holding up okay. And he will just plainly outmass you. Like, here's the thing, here's the calculus he has right now. I don't know why he's on gold, this is ridiculous. But as long as he keeps Sacred Sites, he can just outmass you. He can keep taking this trade again and again and again, because he's getting free gold. And now he's producing Spearmen. A better, I know I say this a lot, but a better Delhi player would just be all over you right now. With way more units. This guy's taken 2 really bad fights. But he still has the Sacred Sites, which are a big problem for you right now. And do not make Mustafatis. Do not make Mustafatis, just make Donzos. Mustafatis are very low health, and they're only good against heavy. Well, you did buy yourself the space to go castle, but since you're investing in Sofas, which are gold heavy, 60 per, you don't have the gold to make cows. Like, you're getting the resources to age up, but the age up won't do much because you don't have enough cows. These villagers really need to, these berry villagers need to really need on gold, because the ultimate goal is any space you're buying with your military, you're making cows, and you're just not making cows, which is really hurting you. I do like how you decap this, but he could stop that with 3 Ghazi Raiders. And now when the spears come in, you're in trouble. If the second you start making spears, you're in trouble. I still understand why you're not making javelins. There they are. Now you're making them. But see, here's the difference in why in the early game they help you so much more than Sofas, because Sofas provide you mobility and they're tanky, but they die to spears. So each Sofa is 120 and 60 gold. Each javelin thrower is 80 food, 40 gold. So it's cheaper and its range is crazy. It shuts down archers. It does well against spears. And if you can mass enough of them, anytime they come up and try to poke one of your mining camps, you're just ripping through them with javelins. And so you kind of want to just mass javelins with enough Donzos to not be just completely surrounded by cavalry. But this late switch in, like, now he's in castle. And there's going to be bad news for you in a second. You're going to age up, but this age up isn't going to provide you much. Because you're still 8 cows off. I mean, 7 cows, because I don't think you can't fit all of them around. So when you hit this spot, you should realize you're behind, right? You realize that he has had Sacred Sites for a while. He hit castle first. And so you need to recognize that right now you desperately need to do damage, eco damage. And this is your best time to do it, because even though he hit castle, his feudal units will take a lot of upgrades. He's going to go pure heavy. So in that case, all you need to do is make Mustafatis, and just make lots and lots of Mustafatis and Sofas. And you just raid. And your goal should be all over the map, because at some point, knowing that he's Delhi, your goal should be, I'm sending units to every berry patch. Lo and behold, he's on this one back here, heavy. 4 Sofas here completely ruins his food economy, because then he has 15 under TC, which is good for him, but you could also raid his wood line, you could raid his stone, and you have to realize that he's going to want to get relics. So another thing you can do is go run and just send like a Sofa to each relic. But really your goal should be right now is I have to raid, I have to do damage before his upgrades come in. Uh-oh. I'm going to raid it opposite side. You want to go berry patches. So this is gonna suck. This is gonna feel bad, but you have to just like throw units at him, because if you let him mass up, he will kill you. And you're still getting your cows in. I don't know why you're getting stone. I think you want to keep. I would have just focused on units. I guess the keep here is really helpful, but you really need units. Here, give me 1 second. The build order for having a baby is always expected to be interrupted because she usually sleeps to 12, and today she decided she's really hungry at 10. So I'm going to help my wife get her started on that, and then I'll be back to finish the review. So I'm just going to pause here 1 second. Usually my role is to feed her the bottle at 11 or 12, but the wife is kind enough to grab her this time. So she will be fed and go back to sleep, hopefully. If not, this will be a short stream. But as I was saying, at this point, you really gotta just go all in on killing villagers. Because the weakness of Delhi is that if the food runs out, he has to go farms, and that's so difficult for him. As Malians, your food's set up. You don't need to worry about food. I mean, you could always use more, right? But you're fine. Your goal is, can you just force him to spend so much on food that he runs out? And then while he's making that farm transition, that's where you catch back up. Because you're not in a bad spot. You're not. You have cows up. You have gold. You've got the third pit mine up, which pit mines on this map suck because the meta ones have no space. But you're doing okay. Your goal is you need to now, one, you have too much on gold. You need to do a really careful reset of your macro here. And you need to go all in on wood and food, so you can just mass produce. One, poison arrow archers is really, really good, but gets lots of Musafatis and Sofas. And if you notice, he has a huge mass, which he's starting to get Magnels. You want to keep him in his base through raiding while you mass up. Like, mass up your infantry, but keep raiding with Sofas. Okay, Keys, you don't want to fight this. The second he runs up, run away. That's why you wanted, and so that's why you wanted to only do it with Sofas. Because only doing it with Sofas allows you to keep running and get away while those units died. I'm going to try to drop that here to cover that sacred site. So now he's able to come attack you at your base, right? And this is where his unit amount's going to get you, because you have 26. He has 89. 21 archers. Is this really 89? I guess it's kind of the elephants are extra pop, yeah. Let me... 18. Yeah. That's tough. Like, the key when you're behind and you actually buy some space is that you have to then keep him in his base until you have caught back up. And now this keeps dead and you're dead. Cool. Let's talk about what to take from this. 1, make sure you use your power comp. In this case, your power comp in Feudal is Javelin Throwers and Donzos. You only ever want to go Musafis against civs that can make Feudal Men-at-Arms. Or the Dragon, HRE, Zushi, if they go Palace Guards, which they never do. And you want to make just enough to defend. And then the key is you have to do a huge macro switch into castles, because now you have all your food up, but you still need more food, so you're on food gold with enough wood to keep making production, and you're just massing Musafatis and Sofas, and you raid until you can get into a big, fast last push. If you're ever behind like this, where you got your eco up and now you need to buy time, you need to raid all over the place. A big thing, for example, when I played China, and I know we hit castle, I'm kind of behind, or we're kind of even, is I'm setting palace guards everywhere, and I'm building nested bees and waiting and letting my eco catch up and letting my 2 TCs pay off. For you, what pays you off is making them hit a farm transition, because that's when they'll have no food to make units, and you still have food to make units, and then you push through. And it's understanding your civ's strength point, which your strength point is the setup eco and just continuous unit production while your opponent starts to falter and has to adjust. Hope that was helpful to you. If you're interested in your own replay review, check my coaching Discord, which if you do the @Discord thing, you'll see that if you're on Discord, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, check the description below. And good luck on your games, man. Keep going. You're improving so much. It's really impressive to see.